everybody, welcome back to the Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship, brought to you by Mature Racing Club. We're coming at you from Red Bull Ring this week, and following this, as you know, there's 2 races a week, so the next track is going to be Dragon Trail Seaside, but I'll cover that in a separate video and we'll talk about that another time. Red Bull Ring, not exactly a technical circuit, it's a power circuit, so you want to put forward your fastest car really. In terms of straight line speed at least anyway. Pretty low on tyre deg as you can imagine, so if you've got like an FF car and stuff, it's pretty good to go around here because the tyres won't absolutely die a death within 2 laps. So we'll go through the qualifying order. As you can see, the FFs are doing well here because we've got 2 Sroccos on the front row, so Dangly Ball and Mighty Ginge doing a good job there. I had a really good lap in qualifying, but I messed it up second to last corner, so I'm back here in 3rd, but I'm happy with that. I think it's one of my best, if not my best, qualifying performance in this league. Don't forget we're in League 1, so we're in there's a Fusion Premiership above us, which is just full of aliens basically, but this is the highest league within the whole tier, so yeah, I'm up against some really good drivers in here. Stu Low in the Cayman. This car seems to go well around here. It's very balanced. You can keep on the power through the corners. B-rated also in a Jag. Oh, just noticed you got my decal on there, mate. My CJW-Racing thing. Thank you very much. Mungino in the GTR. Now, bit of a strange choice because I know I had a race against the GTR. I think it was Viali. In the warm-up, and that was at Dragon Trail, and him in the GTR, it was just, yeah, it was incredible. So I was surprised that Mungino took the GTR here. Can't remember what his other car is though. I vaguely think it's a McLaren or an NSX, so either way, either would have been better here than the GTR, to be fair. Robus in an NSX. Weird to see him down in 7th in qualifying. He does normally get himself up there. Similar for ADG, I guess, but the NSX is not as powerful as most of the cars that are up ahead. So 7th and 8th probably the right sort of place for them in quali. Moley in an NSX as well. Nissan Elvis in a Peugeot. So an FF car, I was expecting to see this a little bit higher up because this is an absolute rocket, this thing. It's god awful in the corners and it kills its tyres, but it's fast. It is very fast. Hyperio arrived into qualifying late. That's why you see a Jag so far down the back of the grid. Diablo seemed to struggle just getting penalties all the time in the McLaren. Angus McCote still getting used to his wheel, I think. If you're the right person, let me know. So he's in the NSX, but hopefully we'll see a good performance from him now. He's just finally getting used to using a wheel instead of a pad. Ginger Cracker in a Ferrari, seemed to struggle in qualifying. I don't think he quite hooked a lap up. And Ruffle 09 in the other Ferrari as well. So Ruffle I think was missing last week. So we'll see how Ruffle gets on in this one. So we'll get underway with the replay. As you probably know, I'm going to skip through it if there's nothing going on, yada yada. But anyway, let's get on with it. So one thing to look out for is the FF starts. They bog down a little bit. That's going to give me and Stu Law an opportunity to fight it out at turn 1. We do just that. I've got the preferred outside line in fairness because you want the outside line because it can carry more speed. Stu Law has to get on the brakes a little bit earlier, which enables me to sweep around the outside. It also enables B-rated to get on him. Right, now the FFs can really come into their own. So Dangler Ball now going to be on the back of B-rated, who's managed to stick through. Stu Law's managed to hold him to 4th position. Mighty Ginge is going to go for a bit of a dive down the inside. Oh, 2 cars in 1. You think, oh, lovely stuff. That's a great move. ADG's also made it past Stu Law as well. So Stu's just had a terrible corner. Diablo up to 7th. That McLaren's had a brilliant get off the line as well. I think Mungino has bogged down, judging off his position. And is currently on the threat from the NSX of Robus to Hoods. And Robus is going to make that move stick. Angus Makoto going for a move down on Hyperio, but has to give him the room. Everyone's got off cleanly, no issues at all. As we see Diablo just on the back of Stu Law. So just to recap the order then, so it's me, B-rated, it's about a second between us. B-rated had Mighty Ginge and Dangly Ball now starting to close the gap in the FF cars. In these early stages, while they had decent tyres, it was important for us in the Jag to sort of try and get a breakaway. That was on my mind. The Jag's not great at tyre wear either, so I had to balance that. So I was watching my pace throughout the stint. ADG done a good job to get up to 5th. Can't remember where he started, but he was a lot lower down than where he is now, so he's had a great start in that NSX. Then you've got Stu Law in the Porker. He has had a bit of a bad first lap with Stu Law, but hopefully he can hang in there and keep the slipstream and get that Porsche higher up. Diablo in the McLaren, and we'll just see someone going for a move. Is that ADG going for a move on Dangler Ball? He backs out of it, I think. Let's see everyone go through. Diablo gives Stu Law a tap. That's going to back Moldy up. So Moldy's now going to be able to try and make a move on Diablo down into what is technically turn 4. Don't ask. It's turn 3 in my head, but turn 4. Moldy doesn't go for that move. He's just going to go for the late apex instead. Everyone's sort of filing through just fine right now. Hyperio's had an issue somewhere. I think he served a penalty off the top of my head, but he's down in 14th place. So meanwhile, back at the front, it's me and B-Rated sort of working together, so to speak. I wasn't having to go defensive for B-Rated there. We were on comms, and I've raced with him a lot. And I know he's the type of guy that will give me a heads up if he's aiming to make a pass. That doesn't necessarily make me drive any different. If I'm going to defend him, I'm going to defend him whether he tells me he's coming or not. But I guess it just enables that sort of communication between drivers. So I've got enough of a barrier that I don't really have to worry about him. But my job now is to get my head down and get my stint done. I've done not quite a bit of testing. I actually was going to use the NSX here. But I was just trying to save my tyres for this first stint, knowing I didn't necessarily have to defend was a bit of a blessing. As you see, Marty Ginge go for the send on B-Rated. He loves an overtake on that corner. He's going to get it stuck down. I think the FF might just be able to out-drag the Jag. But I think Phil was able to get on the power just a bit earlier on. Or the wrong car. Yeah, I think Phil was able to get on the power just a tiny bit earlier. Phil, you're going to have to talk to me about your rear wing decals, mate. I'll show you how to bleed them in so they don't overflow like that. So yeah, that Sirocco is a blooming fast car. It's not the easiest to drive because it's continuously wanting to kill itself. But it is one of the fastest GR4 cars you can get, in my opinion. Currently Ginge and Dangly Ball. ADG's got past Dangly Ball, by the way. Must have missed that one. He's driving the nuts off it. Speaking of Dangly Ball, he's trying to go on the attack against AD. AD in the NSX has probably made his way through in the twisters. The NSX can brake a lot later. Given the mid-engine layout, just provides better balance on the car. So the train has slightly broken up. There's a bit of a gap from Diablo to Robus. So what are the keys to putting in a good lap in Red Bull? Now these guys fighting helped me out massively. So B-Rated and Ginge fighting at this stage meant that I could finally get my gap to about 1.5 to 2 seconds, and next thing I know I'm at a slipstream and I can just start building. B-Rated going defensive nicely. Sort of probably was more aware of Marty Ginge now, given his attack last time. ADG's going to take advantage of the slower guys ahead. When I say slow, I mean they've had to defend and attack, so it does slow you down. ADG's going to try and make a move happen down into turn 3. Ginge is going to stick that on the outside though, but gets a little bit on the grass. And unfortunately he's just going to lose out on this occasion. So that's ADG now into 3rd position. He's going to go on the attack against the Jag. The Jag has the power on the straights but isn't as good in the corners as the NSX is. That being said, the Red Bull Ring only has a couple of good overtaking spots, turn 2 and 3 namely. Everywhere else is a little bit on the risky side. 4-way fight now for 2nd place. Mike Ginge, AD, Dangly Ball and B-Rated involved in this one. B-Rated's currently winning out here, but ADG is fully on attack mode. on board of AD, he's going to pull out of the slipstream. And we might see him make a move into T1. Will these boys keep it clean? Yeah, AD just tucks back in. Good lines by everyone there, keeping the power up. Phil goes defensive into turn 2. Technically this one they're going around now, this little kink here, is a turn. It's not. It's just not, is it? Don't talk. Anyway. Phil just gets a bit of a hop on the curb, just going to slow him down. ADG's going to get this one done, I think. I think ADG's going to have him. He's officially ahead, but Phil's on the inside line, and that jack has the power. AD's going to be able to brake a lot later though. A lot later, I'm talking about 25 metres later, and yeah, that's going to win him this one as he Tokyo drifts it round turn 3 and gets that move made. Phil is not backing down though, past him on. He's now got Dangler ball to worry about. Phil goes back to the racing line in order to carry more speed through the corner. That probably is going to work against the Sirocco. Good throttle control from Dangler ball to keep that going there though. If he tried to powerize that too much, then that's been an awful couple of corners for B-Rated, who is now down in 4th position. Meanwhile, Martin Ginge has just seen the Sirocco do what he wants to do, so he's going to join in on that as well. Diablo's now starting to come under attack from Robust to Hood. Yeah, Robust not attacking there, probably picks his overtaking spots quite carefully. As you can see visually, the gap between me and second place now is ramping up towards 4-5 seconds. Don't get me wrong, the guys behind me fighting helped massively. So Molly's still in 8th. He's got a massive gap to the Peugeot, which is starting to suffer already from tyre wear. Hyperio's working his way back through the field. He's on the back of Stu Law. Is Hyperio going to be able to get this move done into turn 2? I think Stu Law just sort of let that one happen, to be fair, but was he just going for the exit speed? Well, that's going to let Monginio in on the action as well. That GTR in a straight line, off you goes. Now watching out for moves being made elsewhere, just so we cover off the rest of the field. I'm not seeing anything so far. Monginio goes really deep. Bit of the gravel, Stu Law can go back through. Ginger Crackhead, who's not having a great time at the minute, is trying to keep onto the back of these guys and keep the slipstream. You see what happens when you lose the slipstream? This is what happens when you lose the slipstream. You find yourself way out of the pecking order. So Angus McCoat up in 14th at the minute, and Ruffle stone dead last at the minute. This is what happens when you have no slipstream. You're kind of out of the fight. Meanwhile, I'm coming across to start my 7th lap. I remember at this sort of time seeing ADG coming through, thinking, oh, it's nearly pit time soon anyway, like lap or 2 to go, we must be at least 15 minutes through this one. And we'd only done 10 minutes. This race felt like an eternity. As we see Robust to Hood, go for a move on Diablo. Diablo backed out on that one or not is another matter. It seemed very easy to make a move on turn 1 there for Robust. Mike Jones has lost out massively though. He's now got Moley chasing him down. So Moley in the NSX from 8th is now staring at a possible 7th. I think Moley's going to be able to get that move done. All the space in the world given by Ginge. Yeah, Moley's up into 7th position. They're going down 2 by 2 now, I think, into turn 3. Diablo heading the pack. Robust just a little bit too far back. Moley's going to go for a move on Mighty Ginge again. Mighty Ginge, that Sirocco was able just to keep it around the outside. Gets it on the curbs though. It's going to slow him down whether he had to back out of that move or not, I'm not too sure. Yeah, he's had to back out. What else is going on? So we're on lap 7. Quite a way through the race. So ADG now up into 2nd. He has got 5 seconds gap to me, I think, in front. The thing is, what I was able to... I mean, you see, it looks like AD's pushing here. I don't think he was really hammering this one home. My tyre's in a slightly worse state than ADG's, but consider I'm in the Jag, not bad at all. As we see down the board, try and make it happen on B-rated. He's not going to be able to get that done right now. B-rated's consistency at taking turn 1 is brilliant. He's nailed it every single time that I've seen. Commentator's curse, so is he about to knock her up turn 2? Kept it good. Brings it round the outside of Dangler Ball. That's great driving from these guys, nice and respectful. So further down, Hyperion's worked his way up to 9th. We see Nissan Elvis going toe to toe. Stu Law. So what I mean about that Peugeot being a rocket ship, it's absolutely firing away. He's going to try and get a little bit of contact. I think Stu Law just unghosted at the wrong time there, as we see some contact a little bit further up as well. I didn't really see too much about what happened there, but somehow Nissan Elvis has come away with a tiny penalty. Penalties were very inconsistent at this track. We were picking them up for nothing. So this fight at the back is way more interesting than anything else going on so far. So Ginger Cracker, who's normally running near the top, I mean, coming into this race, he's second in the championship. Currently running down in 12th. This is not natural territory for him. So he's got a whole new, as he goes for a move, the only person I've seen make a move there so far. But that Peugeot is woeful in the corners, so as we see someone go side by side further up, that was B-rated and Robust the Hood. Robust the Hood's had a fantastic lap, he's up into 3rd. Something's happened somewhere, Robust all the way up. So to get past in the NSX, doable in the corners, but the Jag's just going to come straight back at you on the straights. NSX can brake a bit later. The Jag is a more powerful car. B-rated again, doing a fantastic job on the outside of that at turn 2. Robust just tucking himself back into the slipstream. And we're approaching the pit stop window, so most people tend to try and pit around the halfway point of the race. So we're at 14 minutes of a 30-minute race now, so this is part of it where people are starting to look at pitting and what the tyre wear is like and stuff like that. So as we flick through the field, just pay attention to sort of the bottom left of your screen. You see sort of like the little car diagram, that's the tyre wear, so white is good, red is bad. The more red, the more your tyres are worn, the more your tyres are worn, the less grip you have in general. So most people are alright. Nissan Elvis in that Peugeot, you see there, his front are destroyed, nearly sort of 40% worn. Stu Law's Cayman should do a decent job of holding on to it. Dangler has pitted down in 13th. We just see someone else pull the trigger on a pit stop. Ruffle, Ferrari does chew them up as well, and Angus Mancourt was pitted. Mine to say I'm in the Jag, not bad, because I'm similar tyre wear to an NSX of ADG. Yeah, in fact, I'm arguably better in some respects. Which tells me that AD's been ragging the gnats off that thing. Let's check on B-rated. He's the only other Jag in the field, and he's down in 5th at the minute. B-rated, yeah, his front left is killed it off. Not much wear to the rear, which kind of tells me his brake bias would have probably been neutral or forward facing. Which means coming into this braking zone here is downhill, and front tyres are getting an absolute roasting. Turning into that corner then is putting a lot of load on that outer left tyre. I was trying to offset that by having my brakes rear facing that way, and it was making me drift a little bit through the corners, but it saved that front left from absolute annihilation. I was contemplating a no stop at this point because I had a gap. I'll show you actually. I've got on board of ADG, so you can't see my car, but I've got about a 6 second, 7 second gap, but a pit stop would have taken a lot longer than that. So you'll see as you come around the straight here, you can just see my car there, look. So I've just crossed the start finish line, 6, maybe 7 seconds I think I got it to 8 before we pulled the trigger. I was debating a no stop. I didn't know what AD was going to do. If If AD was pitting, I was definitely pitting. If he was staying out, I might have still pitted, because on fresh tyres I was going to be able to lap a lot quicker than he was, and probably reduce and get back past him. But if you can race and not overtake, then that's the better choice. So let's catch up with the action when the pit stops are concluded, see where everything falls into place, and cover off the remaining part of the race. So let's take you on a lap around the Red Bull ring in my Jag. Okay, it's a short lap, so not too much to cover. The braking zone for turn 1 is uphill, so bear that in mind. You can delay your natural stop. Your brain will want you to brake a bit early, but there's a light board on the left, that's roughly braking point. I go out to widen my entry, you can go over that curve, depending on your car really, but most cars are okay with it. Full beans up through what is officially turn 2, but I don't recognise it as a corner. Into turn 2's braking zone again. The light board's a good braking reference here on the left hand side. So I'm braking a few metres before that. I prefer a slower exit, because then I feel I can get the power down a little bit earlier. So straight down the hill into turn 3, so this is now a downhill braking zone, so now we're going back down the hill again. Not too bad. Again, you're looking for roughly a light board 10 metres before it, brake. With my Jag having the rear brake bias, I'm turning in a bit earlier than I should do, just to prevent myself from going off into the distance. All the way back over, looking for roughly the marshal's post, braking there, partial power all the way through, hooking 2 wheels on the curb, and then you can go all the way out on the curb there if you want to. When the curb ends, that's your braking point left, power down about halfway through like there, and then straight over the curb, coming down towards the end of the circuit. This corner coming up is the easiest one to make a mistake on. You're looking for a marshal's post on the left, trail brake, and then just gently apply the throttle as you see the exit. Sharp stab of the brakes, down a gear, rattle over that sausage curve, and around we go. As you can see, not absolutely hammering the car. I'm still trying to take relatively decent care of these tyres. Got about 5 minutes remaining of this race, so let's have a flick through the order and see what's going on. So ADG's pitted now. He had to have a little bit of a fight with Dangly Ball, but he got there. He got the position back, so he's now trying to chase me down on 2 lap fresher tyres in the NSX, but I have got like an 8 seconds gap at this point. Robuster Hood has picked up a massive amount of penalty, 2.4 seconds, and he's now trying to chase down ADG, but we know Robus is a very strong finisher to a race. If I was to give him any credentials, really, that's his number 1. He finishes a race really well. So he's up into 3rd, potentially looking at a 2nd place. Dangly Ball will probably be staring at the guys ahead, thinking I can do this, I can get past them. I'm in technically the fastest car for this circuit. Mighty Ginger will probably be having the same thoughts. As the 2 Soccos running 4th and 5th. We've got Diablo doing a really good job in 6th at the minute in that McLaren. He's just currently holding off Moley, who's not pitted. So Moley's tyres are absolutely shot to bits, and he's now just getting caught by everyone. Hyperio in a Jag on fresher tyres will make mincemeat of him, I'm sure, because tyre wear, once it reaches that level, makes the car very hard to drive. B-rated, who's had a bit of a race to forget, to be honest. Don't forget he was up in sort of 2nd with me at the start of the race, now finds himself down in 9th. Being chased down by Nissan Elvis, who has pitted as well. Ginger Crackhead's pitted in the Ferrari. Stu Law doesn't look like Stu's pitted in the Porsche, but that Porsche is alright tyre wear, so you can no start the car. Ruffle has climbed a few places from his starting position. He started last, remember, he's now up into 13th. Mungino just pitted by the looks of things, so he'll be looking to try and get past Ruffle in the coming laps. And then Angus McCoat up, still getting used to the wheel. He's in 15th place at this minute in time. So that's where everyone is. And that's where everyone's line out so far. We're at the about 27-minute mark, so a lap or 2 remaining. As you see, Hyperio has now got past Moley. No point in Moley pitting now, he might as well just try and make it last and hold on B-rated. But B-rated certainly a guy who's got the pace to get back past him. What's going on up front? So Mighty Ginge still in 5th, Dangleball still in 4th, Robuster Hood is now only down to 1.7 seconds. He's got rid of half a second penalty in a lap, so I've got to give him kudos there. The gap between me and ADG, pretty stable to be fair. It didn't really move too much. I think it hovered about 7 seconds perhaps between me and him. So he was pushing a bit more speed through the corners. I was able to pull that speed back on the long straight between turn 1 and 2, and we just sort of yo-yoed like that through the race. Anyway, I'm going to leave me alone till the end now because there's no point. So can AD get past can Rovers get past AD? All the way around. So they're both in the same car. AD's got better tyres at the minute, slightly though, there's not much in that, as Rovers yet again explores track limits. I'd argue he's not getting an advantage by doing that, because there's no grip out there. Like, it was giving you penalties, but you weren't getting an advantage. Dangly Ball and Matty Ginge has got past him. So Dangly Ball's hemorrhaging places as well. So he closes this one out. Can he get back past? Diablo's still doing a good job in 7th. Hyperios we saw get past Moley a lap or so ago. Moley's now coming under threat from B-rated. B-rated is in slipstream, so he's going to... I'll give you an example of just how difficult this car is to drive when it's on tyres like this. So let's go on, let's have a look. So he's braking at the usual braking point, and just look how deep he's ended up going. B-rated's able to pull right up to the back of him. It's going to be pretty evident through this next section how much Moley was struggling with this car. So again, he's braking at roughly the same place, but he's not able to get on the power. I was already on the power. He's quarter throttle max. We were able on fresh tyres to get on the power a quarter of the way through that corner at least. When you are on the power, it's trying to wash you out. So to be fair, he's doing well to get 138s out of that. Because as Lewis Hamilton would say, the tyres are dead. So in the last 30 seconds of the race, these guys are going to come across the line to start another lap. So this is B-Rated last chance to get that 8th spot. Will they go for it at turn number 1? I can see APG and Roberstode are very close. Second and third. B-Rated does get that move done. Let's skip up to these boys as Robert's going for it. Now he backs out. The thing is, even if he gets past, he's got that penalty to get rid of. Matty Ginge starting to pull away a little bit from Dangler Ball. Good race from Matty Ginge, to be fair. I know he started on the front row of the grid, but did fall back quickly, but he's held his own. Done a good job, to be really honest to him. Imperio now beginning to charge on Diablo. Moley's now coming under threat from Ginger Cracker. Ginger Cracker's just going to be much later on the brakes. He's just going to be able to get that move done. Yeah, nice and easy through the inside. Moley, as much as he wants to, just can't stick the power down. He just can't do it. And then the rest of the field is kind of as you were. Manginio's got past Ruffle. He was on much better tyres. So Manginio's tyres are pretty much fresh, so no wonder he got that done. As we come across the line then, I'm really happy with this. My first win in League One. Good flash of lights there, saying thanks to the Michelin boys on the pit wall. ADG and Roberts the Hood split by a hair at the line for setting them third. A good race on those boys as well. Just covered a good race from Matty Ginge. Dangler Ball doing a good job as well. Diablo and Hyperio exploring track limits. They're both going to get penalties for that, I think. Yeah, they try and burn them off before the line, but ultimately no order change. B-rated Ginger Crackhead, Moley in 10th, Nissan Elvis in 11th. Stu Law's going to bring on 12th with Manginio probably having a bit of a disappointing outing for the capability we know he's got in 13th. Ruffle 14th and Angus Makotup comes home in 15th, but we'll start on pole for the next race. So that's race number 5. By the time this one finished out, we have a little 10-minute break, then we go straight into the reverse grid race at Dragon Trail, which I'm going to cover in another video. I might even get straight on that now, we'll see. Officially, halfway point in the championship. We have another 5 races to go, covered in another 2 rounds. It's a short championship. It's it's my entry to racing, to be fair. I absolutely love the GTTCC. The guys in it are absolutely solid as well, so it's good to race with a load of guys who are respectful. And yeah, that's it. So we'll wrap the video up about here. Well, thank you for joining me, of course. Leave a comment down below if you enjoyed it, or if you didn't, leave a comment down below as well, because it all helps the YouTube algorithm and all that, doesn't it? Call me a name if you want, fine. But drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. So yeah, thank you very much for checking it out. Keep your eyes peeled for the Dragon Trail video. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. It was an absolute corker of a race. Put it this way, one of the best races I've ever been involved in. So keep your eye out for that, and you certainly don't want to miss out on the action. So that's it. Thank you for tuning in, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See you later.